Yo, what is up everybody? It is Fresh Trades and I'm back here with my SPY and QQ analysis for 12/9/25. Before we get started, I just want to shout out our Discord. We hit Disney calls today for 25%. We had members cash some decent money in here, $44, $16. So yeah, if you guys want to check that out, the link will be right at the top of the description below. Alright, so if we get into SPY today, in my last analysis, we talked about how we're coming up here, we're rejecting, and really ideally what we're looking for is we're seeing distribution, and we saw it start happening way back here in August initially, and then continue to play out into October, and then we got our 3 breakaway gap up into early November. And then we've really seen a lot of stagnant selling from there. Really right into OPEX and options expiration here, where the bottom got bought out and we've straight rallied from there. So really what we're looking for here is I'm looking for either a pullback into 675 and then maybe one last rally to all-time highs before Q1, or we're looking for the pull all the way back into 663 for a potential lower high. So something kind of like this, and then to bring us back up. That's one thing, or the other one I talked about, just come back into 675 and then push up to all-time highs. And it looks constructive, not a bad spot. Really, we just want to see this distribute out because the hourly does still look pretty distributive here. Not a lot of progress being made on these highs. We got one high here, barely swept the highs, sold back off, swept the highs, sold back off, swept these highs, and then just sold right back off. So potentially some ideas I'll be looking for is just to reshort lower highs from here and define risk off these levels like 675 and potentially 685 again. Now if we look to QQQ, it's a pretty similar look. A lot of the same here, same progression building out. The level I'm looking for on this pullback is more the 610 level, which seems to be very important, especially off this break right here into the breakaway gap. 610 seemed to be a big spot, and then back again, flush below 610, pulled back up. Our reject here from an NVIDIA earnings was off of 610. 610 has just been crucial all the way around. So I want to see the pullback into 610, and then potentially that'll be a higher low into new highs, or push into 610, drop, and then maybe into 600 as a new higher low. So something like that, something kind of like this would be ideal. But you don't know what could happen. This is not financial advice, just to remind everybody, these are just my opinions for informational and entertainment purposes only. We'll take a quick look across the board. Energy was one I discussed the other day that continued to sell off, so kind of hands off on this for now. We could potentially see a higher low around 45, but we'll continue to watch that. Disney is what we caught today. Great breakout, caught in the Discord. Looks wonderful for a continuation. And then NVIDIA was one. Did get stopped out of NVIDIA. A lot of high volume coming in. It's up a ton after hours, so we'll see how that plays into the market tomorrow. That could be important. AMD still looks pretty decent, but it's up a ton after hours on that NVIDIA news, so we'll see how it plays out. Thank you guys so much for watching. Once again, check out the Discord. The link is right in the description at the top. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.